Marisol out of the room, and they're like, bye.
But also, can we just say that Marisol says something fairly telling and kind of accurate, and also ominous towards what's going to happen later, which is, if you weren't rich, who would you be?
Right.
So I was like, all the signs are pointing to financial troubles for Fiona.
Exactly.
But also, it's a good point. She does really use it as a crutch.
She really does. And then we're in music class, or we're with Mizzo and Maya, and she's asking to be bumped up, and she's like, I can't do that, but I can try to give you, like, more challenging side projects, and you can work on theory, which I think is, at least Mizzo is, like, recognizing that Maya needs to be challenged and is trying to, like, help her as much as she can, even though she can't, like, bump her up in a band class.
I thought it was nice that she's, like, willing to give her an alternate assignment. Because that's also, like, more work for Mizzo. Because now, on top of the regular band stuff, she's going to be, like, grading her music theory. You know? So it's nice that she's like, I understand that you need to be challenged. Mm-hmm. But also, that sounds so boring.
I know. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But then we're at the newspaper, and Connor and Casey come, and I thought that was very sweet.
I loved it. It's so nice to see them all hanging out again.
And Connor's like, I wish we could all just be friends again, or like something like that. And I'm like, I miss them. I miss the group too, Connor.
I miss the core team. But also, I forgot. I wrote down the exact quote. We'll never be friends like we used to be. And then my heart broke. I even liked Casey. This is the most I've ever liked Casey.
I love that Casey and Connor are like buds again.
Yeah.
It makes me
I literally wrote, none of you deserve Connor.
Seriously.
That is the truest fact.
So true.
The moral of Degrassi is no one deserves Connor.
But then we are with Fiona and Imogen. Oh, we're in chemistry class. And
yes, I love this.
So subtle. Imogen and Fiona have major chemistry. And then Eli comes over, and I think he says something to that effect, and he ships it so much.
He ships it.
He ships it so hard. So what happens is they're doing something with reactants.
Right.
And Imogen's like, do you think that was I don't remember what the word was, but like basically talking about like how big the reaction was. And they're like joking around, and Imogen says something about like, was what Marisol said true about you trying to impress me? Right. And Imogen made a joke, like said something like along the lines of, because it's working. And then Eli leans around and goes, I'd call that a whatever reaction, like a major reaction.
Which was,
I was like,
amazing.
Eli, not subtle, ships it so hard.
Ships it the hardest.
Loves it. And then I think he's also, doesn't he also, I don't remember, I wrote down Eli's a good friend. Is he like, you should just tell her how you feel? Or like something like that?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He also asks for 2 tickets to the carnival.
Right. And she's like, really? It's your thing? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. Shut up.
Because I think the thing is, Eli knows that like, if he's on, like, as much as he like ships him, Fiona and Imogen, I think he also knows that she would probably warn him against like, getting in the Claire sphere again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she is also a good friend.
Yes. But then we're in band class, and Maya is just like off to the side, being separate, and Tori and Tristan are like giving her looks, and is like, what's going on? And then we also find out that she's not actually doing theory. She's like looking in the newspaper, and she finds an ad that says, indie band seeks rocking stringist, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which is like, oh God, of course.
There is a band in Brooklyn that is just 6 different string instruments, by the way.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I just want to know what indie band this is, because we'll get to it in a minute. We later learn like they're like having auditions at a bar. I'm like, what indie band that plays at bars needs a cello?
Cellist, like.
Although there's an indie band I really like. Oh God, something Michelle and the Velvet Pels or something. I can't remember, but I like them, and they have a violinist. And also, my friend used to be in an indie band called Woolly and the Mammoth, and they had a violinist. So, a violinist in an indie band isn't that uncommon.
No, but a cellist is also a little bit more out there. But I also feel like it's like, we want to be different and cool, so we need a cello. Like, it seems like...
But also, they seem to be open to all string musicians.
Right.
So,
that's true.
They might be leaning towards violin, but seeing what comes up.
Mm-hmm. But then we are with Claire, and she's finally apologizing.
Lucy Michelle and the Velvet Lapels.
Okay.
Sorry. That was going to bug me.
And then Claire is finally apologizing to Allie and admitting that she was a hypocrite and how she didn't, like, she let, what's-his-face, I've already for Jake off the hook, even though she didn't let, and she, like, demonized Allie for, like, both of them doing the same shitty thing. And Allie is kind of like, I mean, too little, too late. And this is when she hands it to her.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And she also brings up that thing
Yeah.
that was really bothering us during that
Well,
other
she was,
episode.
like, minimizing her problems with Dave.
And
Yeah.
Claire was like, I didn't know. And she's like, yeah, because you were treating me like my problems weren't as important as yours because you're selfish.
Yeah. And I was like, yes.
It was
hand
great.
it to her. And yeah, it was a great fight. And then we see all of Fiona's assets getting seized in her apartment because it's evidence, because her mom got arrested for tax things. Her lawyer is there and it's like, your mom got arrested, you can't talk to her, people are taking your shit now, but like, don't worry about it. And it's like, excuse me.
Also, but
Fiona's so cute though. When she first sees that there are people in her house, she thinks she's being robbed, and she busts in. It's like, I've already called the police, and I'm like, Fiona.
And it's like, oh, the police are here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then but then we got back to the newspaper, and they ended up roping Allie into helping anyway, and Jenna, and it's kind of awkward. And then we learned that Jake and Jenna are just friends, apparently, still. And everyone's getting assignments, and Jenna wants to do music reviews, of course, and nobody wants to cover theater. But then walks Eli. Hey,
I was gonna say, wait, my notes are literally stream of consciousness. As soon as she said no one's gonna cover theater, I wrote down Eli will cover theater, and then my follow up note is, oh, there he is.
And then I wrote, of course, I said nobody. I think I was in the middle of writing nobody wants to cover theater, and then I was like, oh my god, in comes Eli looking amazing.
He looks great. He's here to save the day.
In his leather jacket, and it's great. And it's like, oh boy, I think I see what's ramping up now. Eclare Part 2 is ramping up
part
now.
two,
and you know what?
ready.
I'm here for it.
Same.
And then this is when Fiona's Skyping with her mom, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, her mom's totally guilty.
She's super guilty. They froze their assets.
Yeah.
And she's like, I sent someone, and I was like, oh, it's going to be Holly J. It's going to be Holly J. It's going to be Holly J. And
she's like, perfect timing. She's like, I sent someone to help you through it. And she's like, Declan? She's like, no, Declan's here with me. I sent Holly J. And then literally the door immediately opens, and it's like, I'm here.
It's amazing. And I was so happy. I missed Holly J.
And her hair looks great.
So good.
And her hair looks great. Fiona is so happy to see her. Like, listen, we have come a long way since the episode I was on in New York, where Fiona hated Holly J, and they hate each other. Like, their relationship now is, like, to me, much more endearing than Holly J and Declan were even. Like, their friendship it's like the sweetest thing. Like, they love each other so much.
It's so good. I love it. But we also learned that Fiona is going to have to move back to New York.
Yeah. Which is a bummer.
Oh, she also admits to her mom that she forged the check in that scene. And, like, I kind of felt bad for her, because she's like, it's my fault. I forged this check from the foundation. And, like, it's like, oh, Fiona, like, and her mom's like, that's not why this happened.
She's like, oh, no, we have bigger fish to fry in this situation. But
I know, but it's just, like, I felt bad for Fiona, because she's like, she clearly, like, thought, I can handle this. And now she's, like, blaming this on herself. I'm like, oh, Fiona, I love you so much.
But then that's the end of part 1, and then part 2 starts off with Holly J and Fiona like walking up to the school, and Holly J just looks great. And then I think Fiona's talking about like how she needs to pay for the carnival and how Imogen's gonna be mad about it, or I don't really remember.
Yeah, and Imogen comes up and she's like, I sold all of the tickets.
Yeah,
and we're like, great.
And then Fiona's like, okay, well I can't come clean now because you're too excited.
Well, and also Holly J clearly sees that they're into each other, because she's like, "Oh, you're Imogen. Fiona's told me so much about you."
Yeah.
And Fiona's like, and Holly J's leaving now.
Yeah.
But like, Imogen is so obviously into her, because otherwise she would not have followed up and been all like hopeful about that. Like, did she mean it when she said you were trying to impress me? Whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on, you guys.
I'm like, oh.
Open your eyes.
But then we're with Claire and Eli, and she loves his theater piece. And I'm like, oh, God, they're so cute. I ship it again. This is ridiculous.
Oh, my God, me too. They're totally flirting. And then Jenna says, for people that haven't talked much, you two haven't missed a beat.
and I wrote, Jenna's right. They're still as dramatic as ever.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Because then he's like, let's go to lunch. And she's like, oh, no, I don't think that I should. I don't think it would be a good idea. And it's like, God damn it, Claire. Don't, like, blame this on his bipolar diagnosis. Like,
Seriously.
You're just scared.
And then Jenna pulls a, like, way harsh tie.
Yeah.
I will say Connor has a line here because Claire, like...
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
But Connor's line I love so much is, I hate when people... Because Claire's like, I'm just doing it for his own good or whatever. Like, I'm avoiding it for his own good. And Connor's like, okay, but I hate when people do things for my own good. And I just wrote... You and every other disabled person ever, Connor. Like, and I'm sure this applies for mental illness as well, but like, oh my gosh, like when you have a disability of any kind, which, you know, Connor has Asperger's, or it has autism, because we don't really count Asperger's now as part of the autistic spectrum now. But like Connor has autism. Like when you're disabled, like people are constantly like making decisions for what they think is your own good, and you're like, I get a say in this.
Yeah, you're like, how about we talk to me about what I know or what my limits are, and then we can go from there. Like, I'll let you know when I'm not ready to do something.
And we saw with Craig that a lot of people were doing things for his own good too, which was like a part of what made him so frustrated. And I feel like with Craig's situation, if so many people weren't like babying him, he might have like stayed on track instead of kind of going off the rails a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I love that line from Connor. And again, none of you deserve Connor.
Exactly. But then we're with Fiona, and we find out that she owes the Carney people $11,000.
Yeah. And Marisol is being a real see you next Tuesday about the whole situation. And she's
she also kind of sees through Fiona's BS.
She does, but she's being shitty about it.
Yeah, she is.
She hates her for no reason, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, when we were watching this, Allegra's like, why is Marisol such a bitch? Oh, because a man wrote this.
Yeah.
Basically.
It doesn't make it. It doesn't make
she
any
hates her
sense.
for no reason.
For no reason. Like, I get Fiona and Imogen hating her.
Yeah.
I get Fiona and Imogen hating Marisol. I don't get Marisol hating Fiona.
It doesn't make sense because Marisol and Katie are the ones that did something wrong.
Yeah.
Fiona and Imogen didn't screw them over. It's the opposite. And I literally go, Marisol is so fucking mean in this scene.
Yeah.
Like, unwarrantedly mean. Especially considering that Fiona, Fiona locked her out of the room. That's the meanest thing Fiona has done to Marisol.
And, not gone along with her plan to, let Imogen take the fall for sneaking into school or whatever.
Yeah, which was not, come on. Obviously she wasn't going to do that. Mm-hmm. And then, going over Marisol's head, she got a carnival habit. It's not like she took Marisol's position as interim president.
Exactly, because Mr. Simpson's like, you have to work with Marisol to do this. So it's it's ridiculous. Anyway.
It's very stupid. Anyway, we have a brief moment where we're with Tori, who's asking Maya for fashion advice.
No, Maya's asking.
Sorry, other way around.
Fashion advice.
I got confused. Other way around.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun.
Which she needs because Maya's wearing that terrible hat again.
I hate that hat. And Tori gives not great fashion advice, so that's fun.
But I'm okay with it.
It's the one thing we fundamentally disagree on, Kody.
I will say, though, I wish the shirt, I was fine with it being off the shoulder. I wasn't a big fan of Foxy, but whatever. I do wish it was a different color. I think the shirt would have looked way cuter in a dark, a jewel tone rather than that light color.
Yeah, it would have been edgier if it were a darker shade.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then we're with Mr. Simpson, who is flipping out, and this is when he's
pissed.
He's like, I didn't know you were doing the real carnival machines. I thought it was just the theme. And then
I wrote these kids stress Snake out so fucking much.
And then Fiona's like, come on, Mr. Simpson, you're just a cog in the machine, sir.
Oh my God.
And he's like, I know,
too.
Another brick in the wall. And I'm like, lol, nice Pink Floyd reference, Mr. Simpson. And he's like, you need to get this shit together. You're giving me an aneurysm, basically.
So he basically is like, scale it down.
Make it work.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I can't afford it anyway. And she's like, but it'll be fine. What if we bring in people from the town and open it up to the public? And he's like, That's insane.
He's like, this was supposed to be a school daytime carnival event. Like, we can't, like, bring it out. I need security. What are you doing to me? Yeah, it's insane.
Poor Steak. Steak